Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
Pete, dog.
Mothman has the ability to fly and predict bad events, so I'd give his abilities a 5 out of 10 since he doesn't do much.
So, if you don't mind me asking, Rex, when was the last time you cried?
Probably in like December.
Where do you listen your music?
What are you doing with that turkey, Dad?
Don't worry about it.
Millions of people listen to your podcast.
It's just crazy.
I love making music.
Hey, I think you're on the radio.
Huh, no kidding. My name is Daniel Montoya.
My name is Sarah Ratana.
And we at Spartan Sound Productions are proud to bring you the very first episode of our radio show, Valley VibeZ.
For our first episode, we want to talk about Spartan Sound Productions and what we do.
Now, Spartan Sound Productions is Central Union High's very own production studio. We work to make a ton of stuff. We work to make music, podcasts, radio shows like this one, commercials. You're likely going to see one later on in the program. And all of our manpower comes from students enrolled in audio production, like, me and Serenity here. Serenity, when did you first enroll in audio production?
The beginning of August last year.
And I was in audio production the entirety of last year, too. So, here in audio production, we really like to emphasize the student's role. There's a ton of creative liberty in the projects that we are allowed to do. We have essentially no direction in the best possible way. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would agree. I love doing my little podcast with my sister and her friends.
Right. And I enjoyed essentially having the freedom to record whatever the heck I wanted, whenever I wanted. It was great. We learned a lot. And a lot of this was done using Soundtrap, which is a freelance audio workstation, I believe. And it allows for students to learn the basics of audio production, which is helping a lot both here and likely is going to help outside of a school environment. So, Zareti, would you like to mention some of the work that you've done here?
I feel like I've been like tone deaf. I don't feel very I don't know how to say it, but I like it. I really enjoy it. I have a lot of fun. I've been learning how to use different beats and actually create a song. What about you?
Well, a lot of the time I didn't really choose to venture too far out of my comfort zone when it came to music, but when it came to actually recording stuff, I was going nuts. Let's see. Here on the talking notes that I've organized, I mentioned that we're gonna plug the YouTube channel a bunch, and on there we have just a ton of the stuff that we produced. So a lot of our music comes from the assignments that we are assigned. And while you're free to only stick to the assignments, you're also equally as free to make whatever you want and submit it to Dr. Tacky, who is the head coordinator of Spartan Sound Productions.
Have you had anything like posted on the YouTube channel?
I actually have had a few things. I think the very first podcast that I did to be submitted to NPR for the student-made podcast competition has been posted up there under the Great Hot Dog Debacle title. And there I discussed whether or not a hot dog was a sandwich or not for 8 minutes straight.
That sounds like a lot of fun. What type of music do you make?
It was mostly just messing around with the change rhythm feature, How much music have you made just outside of the school?
Outside of school, I don't think I've made a lot. It's mostly been podcasts.
Right. And what is the subject matter of the podcast mostly been about?
We talk about like monsters and stuff and like rate them.
Right. So I've heard. Yeah, okay. So when it comes to music, what would you say your main influences have been?
I don't know. I really like listening to other people's music that like, students make from Dr. Tacky since he plays it around the classroom.
Right. Yeah. So What about podcasts? Any influences there?
I listened to one, and it was a whole fictional story about a girl going into trying to find out about these tapes. I don't know. I found it really cool.
So that inspired you to kind of talk about the supernatural.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. Yeah, personally, the NPR competition thing was initially an assignment. But then Dr. Tacky had told me that maybe I would have a chance of actually winning, so I actually decided to put some more production effort into it. And it didn't even get so much as an honorable mention, because I was talking about whether or not a hot dog was a sandwich, for Christ's sake. But yeah, it's up there. I think it's all right. It's 8 minutes long. Longest 8 minutes of my life.
Why'd you pick hot dogs?
Well, it's a funny story. I was here at Central at about 6 a.m. for a zero period class. And I was bored out of my mind, so I decided to turn to one of my friends and I asked him, is a hot dog a sandwich? And I was already initially on the side of it is. And then when he started explaining his rationale for why it isn't, I started explaining my rationale for what it is. And this brewed over for about a year before I actually decided to record it.
I think I remember you guys talking about that.
Yeah. Things got heated.
Really?
Yeah. At one point I actually made like a 30-minute PowerPoint discussing why a hot dog is a sandwich. Now granted, at least 25 of those minutes were spent insulting my friend, but still.
And for the music that you've produced, what was the main point of it? Why did you produce that music?
Well, really, it was just me messing around with the many tools that Soundtrap provides for its students. Now, outside of our own experiences in Spartan Sound Productions, we would like to interview Dr. Tacky, the head coordinator, about the origins of Spartan Sound Productions. So stay tuned.
All right, that's where it all began. Episode 1.
This is episode 100 of Valley VibeZ.
Live at Central Union High School during lunch. So yeah, it's probably a little bit loud.
But that's kind of the point.
And we've got someone here who's been a part of this since the beginning.
Dr. Tacky.
Hey, it's good to be here for episode number 100. That's right, there's been 100 episodes of this show.
Dr. Tacky, take us back. What was it like for episode 1?
Episode 1? Well, you just heard a little clip of it, and we didn't really know what we were doing, but it turned out kind of decent. We're going to play little bits and pieces of each season in this episode. And this is actually the first time that we've ever done a live radio show. So, we're recording this to be airing on Sunday, celebrating this 100th episode. So, episode 1 took a lot of work. Episode 2, even more. Episode 3 was a nightmare. But we found our way. And here we are at episode number 100.
Dr. Tacky, when you started this, did you ever think it would reach 100 episodes?
I didn't really think about that. I had no idea that it was going to be the kind of effort that it has taken. But, it's worth it because you guys get to be on the radio. You guys get to create these shows. You bring really high-quality content here and all of that. This thing all started because we had this song on Power 98. And then that created that conversation about us being on there a little bit more. Hey, it's your music teacher, Dr. Tacky. Season's greetings from Spartan Sound Productions. We've just released a very special rap for my student, Ariel, just for you. Enjoy.
K-I-N-G-L-E-V-E-double-L-S. I love those J-I-N-G-L-E bells. Oh. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Jingle bells, one horse open sleigh.
No, hey, Merry Christmas to y'all boys, hope y'all living right. Santa Clement, Theo, Chinny, yeah, late at night. Y'all getting cold for Christmas if you ain't being nice. It's time to light up my tree with the Christmas lights. Jingle bells, grand wishes like a wishing well. Jingle bells, don't be naughty cause Santa can tell. Jingle bells, Santa got the intel. Jingle bells, Santa on the roof and he almost fell. fill up my stockings for the Christmas. He gave me everything that was on my wish list. PS5, Xbox, Nintendo, Switch. I got everything I wanted, what more could I wish? Jingle bells, grand wishes like a wishing well. Jingle bells, don't be naughty, cause Santa can tell. Jingle bells, you know Santa got the intel. Jingle bells, Santa on the roof, and he almost jingle bells, riding on the sleigh, yeah. Opening my gifts Christmas Day, yeah. Holiday shopping, I don't play, yeah. That's Santa walking on your roof, don't need to be afraid. Rudolph light up the way with his red nose. Hershey kiss, I ain't talking about no mistletoe. You know Santa, he come from the North Pole, riding on the sleigh. And
he went by the artist Ariel, and later he's known as Days. Let's hear from Power 98 and Javier Fimbres about what he thinks about Valley VibeZ.
Francisco Fimbres, General Manager of Power 98 Radio.
Excellent. So Valley VibeZ is coming to its 100th episode. Tell us what it's been like working with Dr. Taki and the students.
Well, first of all, I like to congratulate Dr. Taki for his efforts on doing this. For me, it's more than, for the students than for the radio or for our audiences. This, how can we call it, an entrepreneurship that he took on, I think it's very positive to teach the students things that are not taught in school and, open their views to other possibilities. Being in radio is kind of a, work and kind of technician type of a job. And it's only a matter of doing it for someone to discover if they have the talent to do that or not. A painter cannot study to be a painter. I mean, they could just go to a class and start drawing, but when you have it when they have it. So I think it's a chance for students to step up and try, see if they got something that could lead them towards that way. And for me, for all of us in the radio station has been, we're really glad that this opportunity came to light for them. And I think it's a very positive action on his behalf, because it took more effort than time to do it, to gather all the technical equipment to do it and start structuring these, because it's not like nowadays everybody's looking at social media. People grab their phones and just start talking in front of them, and of course you follow or you like whoever's have any talent to get your attention. But in radio, we have times, because we have commercial breaks and we have a structure of doing and putting out their messages. In fact, like social media is immediate content that doesn't last over, 1, 2, 3 minutes. And it's kind of like a podcast in which you have to follow up on a subject. So they've been able to comply with all these technical things that evolve around radio. And the consistency is what I admire most, because, they're into their 100th show now, and they're doing it weekly, and they're delivering very interesting content. There are many interesting things going on in the Valley regarding culture, art, sport, and other things that, people don't know about. So I recommend everyone to tune in to 98.3 FM every Sunday morning at 9 a.m.
Originally, we wanted to play a lot of music. Songs like this one from A.J. Aguilar.
Cardio shades right on top of my base. When I ride in the rave, I be looking too clean. factory, proving wrong all of the haters that doubted me. The money I make in a day is more than your entire salary. My pockets are past their capacity. I'm going up like I don't know what's gravity. Up like I don't know what's gravity. Out of your shades right on top of my face. When I ride in the rape, I be looking too clean. Racks in my jeans and the watch on my wrist costs 100, cause it's called a paddock, believe. She tryna throw me a hint that she like me. I act like I'm Stevie, I'm focused on cheese. This is too easy for me, I love making music. I feel like Dr. Tacky. If you don't know who I am, then you better stop snoozing. You better ask about me. I'm with the crew and you know that we ain't ever losing. We ultra fresh like Downey. I'm not like anyone else when it comes to the music. I'm like the best in the county. Pop out with the rest of the function, I make it rain like it's cloudy. Going to school every day, like I can't wait to make some more beats with Dr. T in period 3. I'm trying to get famous eventually, and he's teaching me how to achieve my dream. Shout out to Rubio's Rock Combo and let them know that I'm trying to be on the team. Hey, yeah. Out of your shades right on top of my face. When I ride in the rape, I be looking too clean. Racks in my jeans and the watch on my wrist costs 100, cause it's called a paddock, believe. She tryna throw me a hint that she like me. I act like I'm Stevie, I'm focused on cheese. This is too easy for me, I love making music. I feel like Dr. Tacky. If you don't know who I am, then you better stop snoozing. You better ask about me. I'm with the crew and you know that we ain't ever losing. We ultra fresh like Downey. I'm not like anyone else when it comes to the music. I'm like the best in the county. Pop out with the rest of the function, I make it rain like it's cloudy. I'm putting in work like a factory, proving wrong all of the haters that doubted me. The money I make in a day is more than your entire salary. My pockets are past their capacity. I'm going up like I don't know what's gravity. Up like I don't know what's gravity.
The music was great, but we knew Valley VibeZ could be much more by discussing other issues important to teens.
So at some point, they stopped being just a small project.
And it started to gather some really large attention.
So when did that shift happen?
Well, early. It happened really early. It happened episode 3 when we were discussing Black History Month. And the students we had on really didn't know a lot about the black history of El Centro. And it was a difficult and, not a great episode. It ended up being okay. But it gathered the attention of people from the Imperial Valley Committee on Social Justice because they were concerned about the lack of knowledge that students had. And honestly, that's not on the students. That's on the schools that they attended. And so she kind of called our school to task. And they contacted the superintendent's office, and he contacted me, and I thought, oh no, we're done. This is the 3rd episode, and we're off the air. But that wasn't the case. Dr. Farkas saw it as an opportunity to have a conversation with members of the Committee on Social Justice. And so that's what we did. For episode 5, I think, we put them all together, and it was really, really productive. But what was amazing about it is that we were already being heard and challenging people, and I think that's a really cool thing. So anyway.
I've also heard that you had guests like Leon in season 2.
Yes, we did. And that was very, very cool. If you don't know who Leon is, maybe this will help.
Nobody's bigger than the group.
Y'all ain't stupid. I'm the one selling the records. They coming to see me.
They coming to see the Temptations.
Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. You wish you could work it the way I do. But you can't. Because there is only one David Ruffin.
I have a little question for you. I heard that you have a little band called Leon and the Peoples, and that you were the lead singer. It's like isn't it like a reggae and a soul type of mix type of band?
Okay, so we have to rewind right here.
Okay.
I don't have a little band.
It's not. Yeah. My bad.
Okay.
My bad. All right.
I heard them.
Yeah.
I started to say pause, but I was like, okay.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. We have a band called Leon and the Peoples. We've been around for quite some time. We have 2 albums out. Most recent album was called Love Is a Beautiful Thing, and which had 2 top 20 Billboard debut singles on it. And we've just been traveling around, giving our music. We play a blend between reggae and soul music.
Oh, wow. That is nice.
Wow, Leon was very kind. We all just started dying when he goes, no, wait a minute. I don't have a little band, because it went right back to what it was. And that's just really, really fantastic. So we really love having people like Leon on. But anyway.
So it wasn't just Leon, it was also Walter Beasley. Not once, but twice.
Dr. Tacky, what did those moments mean for the show?
Those moments are always, they're really special. I mean, it's fabulous having, actually it's probably better having our local guests and such. And, having the big names on does provide an endorsement of the show. It also provides, people to understand that most of our big guests are from here, with the exception of Leon. Leon had worked with my wife, or my wife had actually worked for Leon for a few years. So, that was how we had access to him. But the others is basically we ask them. And sometimes, they come asking for us. And you know what? That's where we're at in this show right now. We're going to have a couple of special guests come in. What we've got, this is also Mental Health Awareness Month. And we've had a lot of mental health shows in the last, in the last 100 episodes. And it's always great to have them. So, ladies, will you please introduce yourselves?
Hi, yes, I'm Carolina Gonzalez, and I'm one of the school-based mental health specialists here at Central.
And I'm Cassandra Costin, and I am also one of the school-based mental health specialists here.
That's really great. And so you've prepared a list of questions. Tell us what we're going to do. This is going to be a fun little segment. So let's go with this.
So part of the mental health awareness activities that we planned for the school began actually last week on Thursday. And we gathered questions from students related to mental health. And that's what we're going to do. We are answering the top 7 questions. We received 44 questions total, but we went with the ones that were asked the most and some very interesting questions as well.
Cool. Let's get started.
Why don't you start? Okay.
So one of the questions that came up was about suicidal ideation. What would someone say to an individual who came to them having suicidal problems? So one of the things that we recommend is to make sure it is taken seriously and to listen to them without judgment, be empathetic, and not to leave them alone. If it is something very serious where they need to seek help or assistance here at school, it is highly encouraged to go to us, the mental health specialists, or even our counselors. They are trained to handle those matters. If you can't find any of us, please reach out to staff such as teachers, security guards, or even administration, and we'll try to assist them to see what type of services they need. Also very important is to contact the hotline 988, which should be on the back of their student ID. They should have that number, and they can contact that hotline and see how they can receive assistance.
That's great.
So another question we received, which I really like because it's very relevant, was, does social media cause bad mental health? So short answer, social media doesn't automatically cause bad mental health, but how you use it matters. Studies actually show, though, that there's a correlation between heavy social media use and higher rates of anxiety, depression, and loneliness, especially in teens and young adults. So what we want to pay attention to is how it makes you feel. So if you leave a page feeling worse, it's time to adjust your habits. With social media, there's a lot of constant comparison, validation seeking, and overuse can increase anxiety and low self-esteem. But it can also create support and foster connection. So again, just remember, how does it make you feel?
And another question we had was, what is considered to be a bad friend? But we can also think of it as a boyfriend or a girlfriend. A bad friend is someone who repeatedly disrespects you, pressures you to do something you don't want to do, even talk bad about you in front of your face, behind your back. Somebody who doesn't make you feel good. So someone who makes you feel drained or insecure. So your real friends or your real boyfriend, girlfriend is going to respect you and your boundaries, respect your friends, your family members, support you in all your goals, and doesn't make you feel small.
Another great response to a fantastic question.
So I thought this one was really great too, especially now with finals and testing coming up. So how do I stop procrastinating when I can't even motivate myself? Stop waiting for the motivation. It usually comes after you start. Make the task so small that it's hard to avoid. And tell yourself, okay, I'm going to do this for 5 minutes and then I'm going to stop. Focus on the next tiny step, not the whole task. And remember, procrastination is often about feeling overwhelmed and perfectionism, not laziness. So, for instance, if you have a paper to write, start with just opening the document and then maybe write one sentence. And you never know, the inspiration might come to you. So again, tiny steps, one step at a time.
And one of the questions that's kind of related to the testing that Cassandra brought up was the anxiety. Some students may feel anxious, and that was a question that we got a lot. That was probably the question that was asked the most. Yes. How do we deal with our anxiety? Anxiety is normal. We all deal with it, but sometimes it gets a little high, a little elevated. Some of the easy things that you can do to cope with it is slowing your breathing. So inhaling for 4 and exhaling for about 4 to 6 seconds. Questioning your thoughts. Are your thoughts actually real? Do they make sense? Is this actually happening, or am I assuming it's going to happen? Grounding yourself. So focus on what you can see, hear, feel. And keeping a very basic routine, so make sure that you're getting enough sleep, eating healthy food, and that you're getting some type of movement, which can be something simple like walking around campus. Now, if it really starts affecting your school functioning, your home life, your relationships, that's when we want to definitely seek help with a therapist or a mental health professional. Something that ties with anxiety is the overthinking. We get this often. Overthinking means that your brain is stuck on a topic and we're trying to control something that's not really uncertain, right? So one of the things that you can do is writing your thoughts down instead of keeping them in your head or talking to someone about these thoughts. Setting a time limit, so telling yourself, I'm only going to think about this for another minute or two, but also sticking to it. Asking again, is this useful? Is this rational? Is this going to help me do better? Is this going to help the situation? And doing something that grabs your attention or distracts you from those thoughts, such as talking to a friend, watching a movie, relaxing, maybe even taking a nice relaxing bath and going on walks.
Okay, one more question. So I really liked this one because it highlights getting help, right? And so it was, who do you go to for help as a therapist? I think this is a really curious question. But at the end of the day, as therapists, we are human and we do a lot of the things that we recommend you do. Self-care. We seek out our own therapy if it's necessary. We consult with colleagues, and that might mean consultation or supervising from other more experienced therapists. We collaborate, and we go to trainings, and we create our own social support. And that's what basically we encourage you guys to do. Talk to your friends, talk to your family, reach out for help if you can. And I know that there's at least one person who wants to help.
All right. We love having you ladies on our show, and this is, great way for us to celebrate 100. So thank you, and let's go to the next segment.
Thank you.
Here's another song from Season 2, 100 Mil by Days.
Catch me going 50 on the gas, Getting all this money, I feel like it's going fast, I can't let no shorty, I know what happened the last one. I turn to the money just a couple, I gotta stack one, stack two. I just gotta let it in, it's filled with 100 blues, oh yeah. Now baby, don't you tell me, let me steal. You know you did me wrong, that's how I feel. I got it on my own, I got a couple racks, little baby, I still need 100 mil. I need 100 mil in a dab. Don't you tell me that you love me, this ain't love. I'm running it up. Celebrate with shorty, she gon' pour a little purple in my cup.
All right, that was 100 Mil by the artist Days. You can find that on the Spartan Sound Productions YouTube channel. The name of the song is 100 Mil. You can also find that, I believe, on Spotify and all your favorite streaming services. We're going to continue with the music. Okay, this is the 100th episode of Valley VibeZ, and we're celebrating that. It will air on Sunday on Power 98 at 9 a.m., 98.3, Power 98. And we're really excited to be here for 100 episodes. It's just unreal. Let's go ahead and play a little bit of some music. This is from season 1. This is from season 1, the end of season 1. This is the Halftime Breakers talking about one of their songs. So let's get this ready for you and get started.
But yeah.
We want to play a couple of your songs here. So what are we going to play?
Yeah. I feel like we should start with In the Well.
In the Well.
Right? Yeah. In the Well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, tell us about that.
In the Well, it started off as a riff again.
Yeah.
Honestly, it started off as a garage band project in a little iPad. And the song, the lyrics are about, interestingly enough, it's about kind of like, it talks about eternal life and
Spit it out, boy.
water. It's because it's very abstract, so it's hard to it's hard to explain. It talks about eternal life and it talks about water and how it came to be. The idea was me personally, I read about this Samaritan woman in a Bible chapter, and she wanted to get water, and Jesus was like, well, there's eternal life, and that's enough water, and that will like overflow.
Oh, yeah.
And
I know what you're talking about.
And I kind of got inspiration from that because lately, like the lyrics, we're trying to make them more positive, more like oriented into a bigger purpose than us.
All right.
So, yeah, it's called In the Well. Yeah.
Yep.
And here it is.
Wow.
That's incredible.
What an amazing
really incredible.
song.
Yeah, that was an incredible song for sure.
It almost sounds like just something you would hear like at a show or just in general.
You know, the Halftime Breakers were a pretty fun band. My understanding is that they're broken up right now, but
Aw, man.
you know, they came out of the Central Rock combo, and you know, Fast Star Rising.
Yeah, I mean, being a rock combo really does help build connections and then create something out of it, you know?
Definitely. You know, I could play music all day, and I think that's kind of what drove me originally. But you know what? Valley VibeZ isn't just about the music. It's about a lot of other stuff. And you just, Athena, you just did a show this last weekend about feminism.
Yeah, so I had reached out to a woman that I saw in a YouTube video. Her name is Kyra Turner. And I thought that the way she spoke about feminism was just so clear and without having to put other people's opinions down and just basically purely for educational purposes. So I reached out to her and like within about a few weeks she did respond to me, and I had and it was an amazing episode.
It really was.
It was
great.
really good, and we talked about how the Latin culture also have like feminist expectations and stuff. But it was
And her transformation from, like she said, she was basically an anti-feminist up until
she was.
You know, woke up what was real.
It was mostly not knowing the definition of feminism.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, because she thought it meant that feminism was putting men over women, when in reality is about equal rights.
Yeah, and that was the purpose of your episode, is to help inform and educate and get rid of these stereotypes and misconceptions, I think.
Exactly. It was an amazing episode.
It really was. And that's kind of what we do with Valley VibeZ, is that, you know, we use it as a platform to entertain, but we also use it as a platform to educate. And sometimes the issues are really light, and sometimes they're harder issues. We had the Museum of Tolerance on before. We had the executive director of the Imperial Valley Food Bank on. We had the court system on, and that was really an interesting episode. The one where we talked about teen dating violence. So let's hear a little bit from that one.
Hi, my name is Luke, and I'm your host.
My name is Soleil Cuevas, and I'm your co-host.
And today we are joined by 4 very special guests to assist us on this topic. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
George Marquez, District Attorney.
Jesus Viesca, El Centro Police Officer.
Michael Domenzine, Superior Court Judge.
Carolina Gonzalez, School-Based Mental Health Specialist.
Now, for teen dating violence, what does it look like in the schools? Is it really obvious where you can sort of see how students are acting towards each other, or is it much more discreet and harder to catch?
Well, I think Carolina hit the nail on the head. Teen dating violence in a school setting often is appears indirectly. You don't see it like you would on the street. You know, 2 couples arguing in public. In a school setting, it's usually more digital or emotional. You'll see the individuals becoming outcasts or isolated. And when it comes to digital, they'll end up sending each other messages because we rely so much on our devices now to communicate, where they'll start coercing or threatening another individual. And that's where you start seeing those signs of isolation from individuals. So those are key things to look for in a school setting.
Definitely. One of the main signs as a student that I see all the time is isolation. Currently, there's an example of an acquaintance of mine that I have in my English class, and I've known her for the past 4 years of high school. And just this last year, suddenly she's been cutting off friends and talking to people less and doing less extracurriculars just because of this new guy that she's met and has been talking to. So I can definitely agree with everything you just said.
Yeah, and so it's indicative that we look out. We as school staff, school resource officers, including yourselves as students, have to look out for each other and pick up on these cues, because these individuals aren't going to go out and ask for help. They feel trapped. They don't know who they can rely on to come for answers. Whether they're embarrassed to go to their parents or to school staff, or they just, quite frankly, don't know how to deal with it. So it's imperative for students themselves, if they see this kind of behavior, that they report it to school staff, the resource officer. Just because they come talk to me doesn't mean they're getting in trouble. I mean, we're here to come up with a solution to help them succeed through school and in life.
Yeah, and I want to highlight some behaviors that the students or even staff members, administration, should never ignore. We've talked a lot about isolation. So we notice that a student who is, not friendly and social becomes withdrawn from everybody else. That is a huge indication that something's going on. Even emotional distress, the crying, yelling, especially like things like repeated texting, threats, again, the manipulation, that should never be brushed off as drama. Sometimes it is, but sometimes there's more to that, and that's where we have the responsibility to do like a little check-in with the student and see if they're able, if you have that relationship and with the student, to see if there's something else that's going on.
And in a lot of cases as well, like as a student, students are not aware that they're experiencing dating violence. When you start isolating people that you used to talk to very often, or you spend a lot of time with this other person, those aren't necessarily healthy things when it comes to dating. And if you start noticing that in yourselves, then maybe start asking others or asking for professional perspectives to see if everything is all right.
For sure. You see it a lot in teens that are in their first relationship also. They don't really know what a healthy relationship is. Sometimes they just get what they get and they think they just think that this is what dating is, when in reality...
That was our episode focused on teen dating violence.
100 episodes in.
And we're just getting started.
One question. What should we talk about next?
Well, what comes next is some feature shows. Valley VibeZ is going to stay with us for at least another year, and that'd be another 40 episodes. So, and then who knows after that. But next year, I see us having some specialty shows. Like I said, we'll have the Inside the Blue Zone weekend. We have a student here at Central that is going to be racing in the Baja 500, and we want to give him a segment regularly on Valley VibeZ. It'll be Carlos's Off-Road Corner, and we get to talk a lot about off-road types of things. And and the rest is up to you, you guys out there in the audience, students. What do you want to have? What do you want to hear on Valley VibeZ? What do you think, Athena?
Yeah, just give us your opinion. Let us know. We want to be able... Valley VibeZ is about students and what's going on in their lives. So let us know what you want to hear.
Excellent.
From episode 1
to episode 100.
And season 4 starts at the end of August 2026.
This program was produced and brought to you by Spartan Sound Productions. Special thanks to the hundreds of guests and dozens of hosts that have been on Valley VibeZ during the last 100 episodes. Thanks also to Dr. Thomas Tacky, creator and executive producer of Spartan Sound Productions, the administration of Central Union High School, Mr. Javier Freembrace, and Partner DA for hosting us, and to you, the listeners.